thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Right, now let's get some clarity, which we know what this is talking about for you brothers that have been in the faith, that are in the faith, okay? And you go over the scripture, or these scriptures all the time. In particular, this chapter right here, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, we know what this is going into, all right? But the Lord gives us other pieces of information, for example, other Bibles that help explain it more plainly, okay? So let's read verse 3 again. And I beheld, and lo means look, that man. Who is that man? That man is the Messiah. He's classified as that man. Yahawashi, he's that dude. Alright, that's the most important man in existence. Under his heavenly Father. Alright, so that man, alright, this high value male, okay, that man waxed strong. The word wax means to grow. So he grew strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. You know, which is all creation trembling. But in particular, the people that are going to attempt to fight. Alright? They're going to fight against Yahawashi and the heavenly hosts. But dealing with that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. Now I have this book right here, the Apocrypha Revised Version. Okay. The Apocrypha translated out of the Greek and Latin tongues, which ultimately it goes back to the Hebrew. Okay? So yeah, and it says it was printed by Cambridge at the University Press, 1895. Alright? Now it says printed for the universities of Oxford and Cambridge. Alright? Which are very prominent universities. Alright? So you see it's an older book, which the KJV is older. Alright? But we're going to go to that same chapter and that same verse and get the explanation of it, which we know what it is, but we're going to get it anyway. Alright? For more understanding. 2nd Ezra and the Apocrypha, the Revised Version, chapter 13, verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, this wind caused to come up from the midst of the sea, as it were the likeness of a man. And we know who that man is. Okay, when it's speaking about the sea, he came from the midst of the sea. He's talking about outer space. Okay? Like they told you in, what was that, War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise, when Morgan Freeman was narrating, he said beyond the gulf of space. Because space is like unto the waters. It is waters. It's just waters outside of our atmosphere, okay? But it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man flew with the clouds of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Right, because once again, the armies of the earth are going to fight the Messiah and the holy angels. Now, at first I said attempt because it's really not a fight. You know, they're going to get blasted out of the sky. That's why Yahawashi said he beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. It's going to be quick, you know. Yahawashi and holy angels destroying Esau and the armies of the earth. Okay. But yeah, it says that man waxed strong with the clouds of heaven. Right here it says that man flew with the clouds of heaven. Right, so we have an understanding. And for that word wax, for wax it actually says grow or grew strong. has grew strong. So yeah, I want to go into this, man, because we're living in a time where Yahawashi is really going to make himself known. Now he's already doing it by way of the holy angels appearing, because they're an extension of Yahawashi's power. But eventually, and it's not going to be long, but after a while, the Messiah himself is going to show up. Okay? And he's coming back to kick ass, man. It tells you in righteousness, he doth judge and make war. Alright, but the point is, he waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, meaning he's coming with the clouds of heaven, which those are the vehicles of the heavens. Alright? The vehicles of the spirit world. Okay? And Esau cannot fight them. And they have a dual purpose. Okay? Now, when you read this in 2 Ezra 13, it's dealing with Yahawashi destroying. Okay? And also saving too. Okay? When you keep reading, where it says, some came to him. He gathered enough peaceable multitude. So the chariots deal with salvation and destruction. It goes to the destruction first, but then it goes to the salvation. Alright? But to get another example of salvation, the scripture that we know, but I'm going to read it anyway. Alright, this is in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 30. Begin at 29.